Hey there, everyone. Erevan here with a breakdown for the new SMG-72 Pummeler in Helldivers 2. The Polar Patriots War Bond has just released and left a rather sour taste in the community's mouths. While I've already done a brief overview of all the weapons in this war bond, and the employment of the man heading the development of this war bond is likely about as questionable as the captains who steered the Costa Concordia, it did manage to give us this gem of a primary. But how good is this SMG really? Let's take a look at its technical specifications, target effectiveness, and damage breakpoints to find out. As is the case with all my videos, note that all thoughts and opinions on viability are derived entirely from playing Difficulty 9 Helldive, as I aim to give you the best possible representation of how these weapons hold up in the endgame. And before we get started in earnest, a huge thank you to my coffee supporters who support my full-time content creation. Couldn't do this without you guys. Alright, first let's talk about the stats. The Pummeler sports fantastic snappy ergonomics with virtually no recoil at only 10 points, making laser beaming a target even from the standing position extremely easy. It comes equipped with a red dot sight with no variable zoom, which is completely fine for an SMG as well, really. We also have a side-loaded 45-round magazine. As is the case with all magazine-fed ballistic weapons in Helldivers 2, reloading with one round left is going to be best in most situations, as it cuts the process of racking the charging handle out of your reload time, which is roughly 3 seconds if loading on empty, and 2.1 seconds when reloading early. With that 45 round magazine, you're going to be getting 7 spares for a total of 361 rounds from the drop. Field crates give you 3 magazines back, and resupplies give all 7. So, overall, a fantastic ammo economy here. Sound profile wise, the Pummeler makes for a great stealth weapon. The sound profile is relatively low at 20 meters, and any enemy you engage with it is unable to call for help or alert the others due to being stunned. SMG shield ninjas are now real, and they can hurt you. The Pummeler gets its name from the fact it stuns enemies on hit, not stagger, stun. You heard me right. This stuns enemies like they've just been hit with a stun grenade for roughly a second after taking any damage anywhere from this weapon. So, basically, it's an automatic lethal taser. Anything taking fire from the Pummeler is rendered completely helpless and cannot fight back at all, Chargers and Hulks included. Only tanks, Striders, Bile Titans, Factory Striders, and gunships seem to be immune to this trait, making this weapon an absolute beast at laying down CC. With its 475 rounds per second, it's not difficult at all to keep an entire group of berserkers helpless while your team melts them down for our anti-tank mines. Fantastic stuff. The icing on the cake is, of course, the Pummeler is an SMG and therefore is one-handed. This means while firing from the hip behind you, you lose very little momentum, meaning with its near non-existent recoil, this weapon allows you to stay extremely mobile while combating Terminids, all the while keeping them completely pacified with no trouble at all staying on target. Likewise, with the automatons, not only does this remain true there, but we can pair the Pummeler up with a ballistic shield to become the perfect tank diver. Doing so means you will effortlessly tank heavy devastators while locking down berserker hordes, rocket devastators, and rocket raiders, all while your team cleans up from behind you thanks to the pressure that you soak up. A perfect combination for the current major order, as picking fights is mandatory at the moment, and man oh man do you win fights doing this. A match made in heaven, as Shield Chads just cannot stop pulling W's lately. The Pummeler does, of course, have its drawbacks with its low damage, damage fall off rate, and penetration, however. The Pummeler has 65 ballistic damage, making its total DPS only a meager 515, or 342 with reloading in consideration. This puts it in the bottom 30% when compared to all primaries in the game by raw DPS. The Pummeler also has a durable damage of only 7. So, structures such as the Strider's joints are not something you want to be shooting with this thing, as it's virtually useless to do so. We also have some pretty nasty damage fall off as well at longer distances, roughly affecting your breakpoints after firing at anything beyond 12 meters. Although honestly, all of this ends up feeling just fine, as anything we damage is completely unable to fight back. So we can afford to take that extra time. And if there's a teammate with a bit more DPS on hand nearby to take advantage of our crowd control, well, that's all the better. The Pummeler is also a light penetration weapon, meaning while we can stun just about anything, we certainly cannot meaningfully damage everything with just Class 2 penetration without finding a weak spot first. The low DPS and penetration, however, definitely keeps the weapon balanced, as anything more would have been blatantly overpowered with its crowd control capabilities. Here's hoping Arrowhead leaves this one alone as a result, because I gotta say, I had some of the most fun I've ever had in Helldivers 2 getting you these damage breakpoints. Let's start off with the automatons. Lightbots get taken down in one headshot or two to the body, taken down in hordes from behind the safety of the ballistic shield without any issue at all. Devastators feel fantastic to take on with the Pummeler. We have the versatility of being able to lock down rocket devastators while tanking heavy laser fire from the others with our shield, allowing us to take out entire packs of devastators, even in the open as a result. You can take them down in 2 hits to the head, 6 to the exposed stomach region underneath the armored plate, or 17 shots to the legs, any of which will, of course, keep them permanently stun locked during the process. Keep in mind, however, we do have some pretty nasty damage fall off, so it will be 3 headshots anywhere beyond 12 meters away. Berserkers. The Pummeler needs 3 headshots here, which is very uncomfortable with how much these waddle around normally. The glowing stomach weak spot, on the other hand, only takes 10 hits to break through and can be reliably mag dumped. So, I'm going to advise you to make regular use of this breakpoint over hunting headshots in most cases, especially when we need to be locking up the whole group and don't have time to be headhunting. Hulks are defeated in 24 shots to their heatsink. They are also hilariously perma-stunned by the Pummeler during the process, making this a very reliable method of taking them down anytime their back is turned to you. Scout Striders, you're going to need to flank these to take them down, as light penetration with only 7 durable damage just isn't going to cut it any other way. Personally, I carried a grenade pistol as my quick and easy answer to these, as 1 grenade on the upper region of the front plate is still sufficient to eliminate these even after their explosive resistance buff. And as for the gunships, cannon turrets, tanks, and factory striders, the Pummeler is ineffective against them due to its low armor penetration. You're going to need some help from your teammates, stratagems, or support weapons to handle all of these targets. Alrighty, pretty short and sweet rundown for the bots. Now on to the Terminids. We're going to be shifting our playstyle to run and gun from frontline tank. While the Pummeler is effective against Terminids all the same, it definitely doesn't shine quite as brightly as it did with the automatons, mostly due to the fact the Terminid metagame is already dominated by weapons with extremely high DPS, stagger, and penetration, making its stun locking capability a little bit less exciting and unique without the ballistic shield. Even still, let's be thorough and talk about the breakpoints on the bugs. For scavengers, it's going to take 1 hit to the head or 2 to the body. Hunters, roughly the same at 1 shot to the head or 3 to the body. And warriors soaking 3 headshots or 6 body shots to bring down each. As you can tell, while our ammo economy is quite fantastic, the amount of bullets we're going to be spending against the swarms of bugs is going to get pretty dramatic. At least we can lock them down while we do so. Hive guards with their class 3 armored front plates will require us to find angles to hit the body. This results in a 6-shot kill through its class 2 center mass. Brood commanders are a bit rough at 14 shots to pop the head off. For these and the hive guards, I definitely preferred the big iron on his hip, due to the medium penetration and high burst damage, often resulting in much more comfortable TTK. Nursing spewers are going to take 10 headshots to bring down an absurd amount of ammo to the body due to it taking structure damage. We don't have a lot of that, so suffice to say, it takes a ton of bullets. Don't do it. Likewise, this means bile spewers also take a no amount of bullets due to the medium armor on their heads ricocheting your shots. Recommend swapping to the big iron on his hip, impact grenades, or a support weapon. Stalkers have class 2 armored bodies, meaning the Pummeler can only deal half damage to them. Their heads, however, have no armor, meaning the Pummeler not only stops all Stalker threats dead in their tracks stunned, but deals with them in just 3 headshots. My advice is to land an initial hit to bring them to a stop, then line up a burst to their cranium to shift these would-be predators to prey. You can mag dump their bodies to beat them as well, but that's going to run you almost your entire magazine at 40 hits. Chargers are a bit unique. While you can technically bring them down with almost 2 full magazines to the rear, and they will be stunned during the process, you can also hit the legs as well when the armor glitches out. But This amount of ammo and time to kill is definitely not worth it outside of the entertainment value of watching a charger be reduced to a helpless beetle. Either hold these down for a teammate rocking a support weapon that'll do the job, or utilize stratagems and support weapons yourself. Shriekers are going to take 3 to 4 hits from the pummeler to their bodies. This feels doable, but not ideal with how thick the swarm can be. As per usual, I recommend removing these nests with long-range class 4 or higher penetrating support weapons, so you never have to deal with them outside of your initial landing zone. Bile Titans cannot be CC'd by the pummeler and should be dealt with utilizing support weapons and stratagems as you'd expect. Can't have it all. That's about everything there is to know about the SMG-72 Pummeler. So, how good is it? Well, in my opinion, this weapon is a fantastic addition to our collection, sporting unique and powerful crowd control and a compact package best served with a side of ballistic shield. Despite its low DPS, high damage falloff, and low penetration, the great ammo economy as well as mobility and flexibility of its one-handed nature carve out a unique and fun playstyle for the weapon in a way I'm sure many shield mains find priceless, and bug stompers probably find enjoyable to an extent as well. For me, it's now my go-to for loud gameplay against the automatons, as tanking and crowd controlling entire swarms of devastators with just my primary is not something I'll soon tire of. And by all that, I of course mean it's terrible. It's just a completely awful weapon. What a horrible primary arrowhead. Definitely no need to take the fun out of the weapon saying the stun was an unintended exploit. Nope, this thing sucks. Thank you for watching till the end, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.
And now, another helpful tip from General Brash.
Aravin, as always, has put painstaking effort into covering everything our soldiers need to know about their new SMG. For this, I am ordering all active Helldivers to like, comment, and subscribe to his channel. Failure to do so will result in your pummeler having its fun removed due to being an exploit. Brash tactics. Use them or die trying.